was exactly 1 week. So we found out when Caden was 2 weeks old. We got the diagnosis, and during the process, we had actually been transferred back to UW. So at this point, we did the testing while we were at Seattle Children's. While we waited for those results to come back, we got transferred back to University of Washington, and we were back just in the NICU bubble of like working on feeding. Like that was Caden's biggest struggle, was weight gain and feeding. And so he was still not really breastfeeding or bottle feeding well, was still having a lot of aspiration and difficulty, breathing during feeds. And so that would probably have been the one tip off. But again, he was still only, 35 weeks at that point. So nobody was really waving any like red flags yet. And so again, like our feelings were like that he's just a preemie, right? Like there's nothing else underlying wrong at this point. And then we did get the call. It was a phone call. And so that's the one, I think, wish that if we could go back, is that like the way it was delivered, the results were delivered to us was not great. I was in the NICU by myself. Tristan was at home working. And so, and again, I think it speaks to the level of like me not really thinking anything was going to come back, because I was like in the family lounge filling up my water, and he called and was like, is this a good time to get your results back? And I was like, oh yeah, sure. Like assuming it would just be like, yep, you're negative for everything. And then he, speaks off that you were he tested positive for, cardiofasciocutaneous syndrome, and therefore I've put in referrals for cardiology to come see you, neurology to come see you, ophthalmology to come. And I'm like, I remember being like, wait, what? Like, go backwards. Like, what do you mean? Like something is wrong, right? That we were positive for something. And what was it called again? And like, had to go back to my room and, wrote it down, and then the breakdown, right? Like just emotionally devastated, right? Of like, to get this news, and the first thing you do is Google it. Mm-hmm. And it comes back with
not a good Google.
Yeah. And so, and to be alone, right? And like, I was crying so loud that our like NICU nurse heard me in the hallway and came in, and our UW team hadn't even been told yet. So like, it was not great communication from Children's to them yet either. And so our NICU team didn't even know. And so definitely could have been handled differently. And I'm sure that's partially part of a study, partially a little bit of a non-bedside manner from a, not as patient-facing position, right? Mm-hmm. But definitely not an ideal way to receive the results of life-changing, devastating news.
When I think back to that moment, Maren kind of mentioned it, we were in different places. So that was one of the biggest challenges. We had been trying to do this hybrid. I'm leaving the NICU a little bit, trying to get some work done, coming back during the day. Maren had been there full time. There's a couple of nights we were trying to sneak away and get a night at home type of thing. But yeah, to get a call with that, and Maren's obviously devastated on the phone, and then it's challenging.
I guess if I could have it in a perfect world, how that information should have been positioned to us in a different way. Like ideally, our geneticists at Seattle Children's would have connected with our NICU lead, the physician for the week, and they would have all discussed what this means. Because, as with rare genetic disorders, a lot of the physicians or geneticists have never heard of them, right? So like for them all to get on the same page, maybe do some initial research on the diagnosis, and then ask for time to meet with us in person, right? Like it should have been hey, we have your results. We'd like to sit down with you to review them together, right? And so that would allow me and Tristan to both be in the room with our team that's managing Caden at University of Washington with the geneticists at Seattle Children's. Like ideally it would be, informed group discussion, and we'd be able to ask any questions we have at that time. But at least we'd be together. And then the team around us would know that, Caden now has this diagnosis added, and we'll need these referrals to all these specialists that will be coming in and out of the NICU.
I think when I look at how would you want that information delivered? I agree a lot with what Marin said. I think the first step would be getting both care teams in place. Now both teams know what's going on. I really think that type of news should be delivered in person. I know there's probably challenges that exist for certain people where you have to do it in a different medium, but the ability to have been sitting down with each other and then speaking to someone who was more informed about what that could be would have been a great thing. And I think it would have also been great for our local team in the NICU so that they didn't feel like they were in a reactionary setting or weren't the experts in the room on something that is completely new information to them being expressed through a mother at the time. So I think that process has some room for improvement.